Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at another version of the Master Grade Deathscythe. So, if you want to see a full review of this particular kit and the Deathscythe Hell variant, then you can check out that video that I did before, but this one we're taking a look at today is the Premium Bandai Master Grade Gundam Deathscythe EW Rousette unit. Anyway, as always, if you do want a Premium Bandai kit, they can be a little bit hard to get, especially after their initial release, so if you're looking for some rare gunpla, you can get yours at Buy. That's where I got mine, and the link is down there in the description. Now here we go. So right off the bat, you might be wondering, what makes this version of Deathscythe any different to that Master Grade Deathscythe that has been knocking around for almost 10 years now? And the answer is, well, technically nothing but the wings. So if you take the standard release Deathscythe EW, spin it around just like so, you can see that it always had some tiny little baby wings right here. Look at that, so cute. Well, all that's happened is they've just sprouted a little bit. So yeah, that is it. Those tiny little wings have become these larger wings, and instead of having a ball joint right here, these just have a standard peg joint to stop them moving around. That is all. It is honestly like someone just got the EW version of Deathscythe, the EW version of Wing, smacked them together, and this is the end result, and I have to say, this is one awesome end result. So there's that full 360-degree spin, so you can see absolutely every detail on this kit. So once again, this is exactly the same as what we would have seen with the full release version of the Deathscythe Hell EW, except this time we have those very wing-style wings. Once again, this is from the manga Glory of Losers. That is what this particular equipment set is from, and this allows the Deathscythe EW to fly around in atmosphere just like the wing. So a lot of the design elements are very similar to what we saw on the Wing Gundam EW, except we do have a bunch of moving parts in here that we'll take a look at right now. So just taking a look at the backpack here itself, this is exactly the same as all the more modern, and by more modern I mean about 9-year-old, Master Grade Wing Kit backpack sort of thingamabobbers. As far as I know, all of these are compatible. There might be different little lines through them, but you can deal with that quite simply, but actually, screw it, I'll try it on something. So enter Sandrock, spin him around, that looks exactly the same. Let's try popping that in there, and perfect. So yeah, if you've always wanted to give your Master Grade Wing Kit some wings, then this is the perfect little kit. That looks pretty cool. Paint that right there in some matching colors, and finally, this chicken will have some wings. So as for the movement with this, there's a whole lot going on. First off, we've got a peg right here that gives us rotation. No ball joint. We have a little bit of a flappy mechanism right here, which brings it to the back and to the front. Not very far and feels a little bit delicate. In here we have a bit of a locking mechanism that snaps out like so. Once that is free, it can move down like this and up like that. Next up, this wing can extend at two different points. That is right here and then here. That is the same on the other side here. And here, and that right there is this thing's full wingspan, but I will mention this gets very floppy once it's extended. That doesn't feel very nice at all. Woo! Wiggle. Of course, we still have the locking mechanism here, which allows this to move down like so, even when it's extended like this. So, same on the other side, just like that right there. I almost missed it, but we do have another point of movement right here, which allows us to move quite a bit. So using that articulation we just saw, the Rousette unit has a bit of a folding mechanism. Although there are some locking parts in this that click into place, this still feels extremely fragile, quite delicate, so do be careful with this. That is what it looks like once it's folded away. I assume this is to keep it in behind the Deathscythe for protection, but I'm not necessarily sure. And like I mentioned, even though it does have some locking mechanisms, this is still incredibly loose. Not as nice as it is in wing mode. So now moving on to the accessories, and here is the Master Grade Deathscythe EW Rousette version with absolutely everything that it comes with, which is the exact same stuff we saw before with the standard version of the Gundam Deathscythe Endless Waltz. So if you do want to see everything that comes in this kit in more detail, check out the double review I did on the standard version of the Deathscythe as well as the Master Grade Deathscythe Hell EW, because all of this you would have seen in that before. So just to break it down, we've got the scythe, awesome scythe effect, and this part for holding the scythe on the backpack. The scythe looks like this. We have that absolutely awesome shield that can open up just like so, has an effect part that can clip in there just like that, and that right there is a pretty awesome weapon. Besides those weapons, the Deathscythe EW Rousette version comes with swappable fingers just like we saw with the earlier kits, and the exact same base adapter and Duo Maxwell. So because this right here is the exact same kit, that does mean those tiny little wings that were on the standard version of Deathscythe are included, so you can make this back here into this standard version right here if you wanted to. The only thing that is different in this kit compared to the standard version is this absolute death amount of water slide Katoki style decals. We all know Katoki loves his tiny little caution style decals all over the place. I mean all over the place. So if you're going to attach these onto your kit, this is going to take a long time. There's a lot here. When it comes to the articulation on this kit, in my opinion, this is baseline for a master grade. You'll get pretty much everything you want out of it. It does have a paralyzed torso that does nothing, but in general, you will eke out most of the poses that you want. They just won't look incredibly dynamic. This thing's built for a couple of poses only. The legs are great, but everything else is a little bit limited. Build-wise, it is fantastic. It has an ABS frame with a lot of grip. Sometimes things might pop off like the arms and the legs due to the ABS being a bit grippy and inclined to move a bit when you twist. And the only things you really have to watch out for are the thrusters round back and the skirting armor. Those tend to try and jump off and run away and escape for some reason. They're just an odd little design, but on the whole, this is a solid, very nice build. As the tech used in this kit is quite old, it does feel a little bit aged when it comes to aesthetic features in the plastic, so that does mean we have a lot of mold lines, seam lines, and nub marks all over this kit, which will take that little bit of extra care to clean up. And that seam line in the side of the head, that is one of the worst I have ever seen. That is shockingly bad, but besides that, this thing is beautiful. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and as usual with these Master Grade EW wing kits, this right here is silver tier. These have always been, to me, the baseline for Master Grade. They're solid, nice articulation, nice accessories, and out of the box they're pretty cool. The only kit that is a massive letdown, of course, is the wing version, but we're getting a new Master Grade wing soon, so I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But this one right here, it's silver tier, the exact same Deathscythe we saw before, just with some nice new wings that are a little bit floppy at times, but those wings really do add a lot to this design. I think Gundams with wings look awesome. I have a feeling you may agree. And if you want yourself a Deathscythe with some awesome wings, or just want a bunch of wings for using with your other Endless Walls kits, I highly recommend picking this one up. However, if you're not a big fan of the wings, already have a Deathscythe, or are thinking about buying a Deathscythe, I say go for the standard, cheaper, retail release as opposed to this. Unless you really want those wings. Anyway, if you do want those wings, link in description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. Once again, I cannot finish this video right here without thanking each and every one of you guys. Whether you just watch my videos, like them, or support the channel on the channel memberships and over on Patreon. Like Craig Jerry, Greg Humphrey, Kaiser721, Tyler Sanders, Caleb Engelhardt, Sean T, and the ambassador for asymmetric cats.